like 20 minutes to think of something.
They're engaged in their devices when they should be engaged with the people they're spending time with.
The sound of chewing. Like, it doesn't really even matter how loud it is. I can't do it.
A leaking faucet.
Was it like at my house or like at school, like whenever I leave a place, everything has to be locked and closed up, so like when I walk in the next day, it's like perfect. Like if I left my computer and all my stuff out, that would bother me, so it's like when I leave, it has to be perfect. For some reason, when I park my car, I always have to park my tires straight, and like if they're not straight, then it bothers me. That's a pet peeve of mine. That's so silly, but it's just like I always park my car straight, and then my wheel always has to be straight, so my logo is straight up and down. Yeah.
It really bugs me when people don't wait to merge until it tells you to, when they're doing construction on the freeway. Oh my gosh, zipper people.
Is the speed at which people move. It drives me crazy when people are driving slow in the left lane, when they are not being speedy and expeditious in a checkout, when they are walking through a mall at a ridiculously slow pace.
All right, is when people scrape their teeth across their fork tines. It drives me nutty.
And you know when you go to stores and they have like posters in French and they have mistakes. I just want to, and they have a bunch of mistakes sometimes. You know, they don't have the S, they have an accent, so I just want to take a Sharpie and correct it.
I really get annoyed when people use the word is and are, the verb is or are incorrectly, like where is my shoes? It's where are my shoes?
Being a German teacher, I'm kind of a grammar freak, so like when you're at Target and it says 10 items or less, it should be 10 items or fewer, and nobody else cares. And I feel like a really old lady because I think those are the only other people who care about that.
Something that annoys me, when people mess up less and fewer, that annoys me.
I can't stand hearing people chew, whether it's gum, food, just that sloppy sound, like, and you can just hear the saliva in their mouth. I can't stand it. It drives me bonkers.
Gum chewing annoys me like no other. The sound of the water and the air between the teeth and the gum, and it's just really hard to concentrate, especially when they pop it.
Definitely my own handwriting. I'm super particular about it. Like I gotta get like everything just perfect, and if I mess it up, I have to erase.
Something that really annoys me that doesn't bother other people is people that have a nose whistle. Like I'll be sitting in class like taking a test, and all of a sudden I hear like coming out of someone's nose and like
When people have retractable pens and don't click them to retract them.
I know this is terrible, but I get really bothered when people sneeze. It's
Really?
not as if people can help it, but just the noise for some reason bothers me.
My sister, because she takes all my stuff.
Like what?
My clothes.
I really like straight lines and everything being very even.
Something that annoys me is people that don't try.
When people don't try in sports. Yes, like, and it affects the whole team.
I don't like the sound of nail clippers.
It's people giving me life advice.
Probably when people just sit there and use their phones to talk to people rather than talk to each other in person.
People whistling.
When people can't stay organized or they don't try in sports, like gym class and stuff.
When I go to the gym and you go into the locker room to change your clothes, and I go to LA Fitness and you go in and you open the locker and then you start changing clothes, and while you're changing clothes, the person who has a locker right next to you comes back from working out and then stands really close right next to you and starts changing their clothes, but it's really uncomfortable. That's what
people who drive Kia Souls, it pisses me off because they always have to deck it out with some racing stripes or some antlers.
A mustache.
So my husband and I just bought 2 new cars, and it used to be kind of like he had a car and I had a car, but now it's more like, hey, are you driving far or not so far? So like he will randomly take whatever car he wants, which means every time I get into the car, I have to like reset my mirrors, reset my seat, reset everything, and I think it's really annoying, like reset the radio, and all my friends were like, that's weird.
Prune hands on paper. Yep, that's what it is.
When people put stuff in the cabinets and don't get the labels facing forward.
People tickle me for no reason.
When people wear cargo shorts.
When the laundry room, like the washer is running while I'm trying to take a shower, and the water pressure is just brutal.
It really annoys me if people fix my collar without saying anything to me first. Like if I'm wearing a dress shirt, even a collar shirt like this, it's not even that I mind if they say like, oh, your collar's messed up, is it right if I fix it? But when people just reach and grab, it drives me way crazier than it probably should.
What bothers me is an unmade bed.
When someone says the wrong number of people on your reservation and you get stuffed in a cram table.
At a restaurant?
At Chili's.
Crooked books. Like when I go into church, I have to straighten out all the books in the pews, and my wife will intentionally turn them crooked because she knows it makes me crazy. When I taught with Mr. Perkins, he used to come into my room and he would pick one book and turn it upside down and stuff. I think most people that doesn't bother. Drives me nuts.
I hate listening to other people's thumping music through walls and floors. I hate it.
Just hearing it or
Hearing it, like
distracted?
other people's noise. I hate it. Other people's noise.
Okay, when you're opening something from the freezer and it's like really icy on the outside, just touching it, ooh, don't like it.
When listening to music in my car, it has to be an even number.
Breathing. Any mouth sound. Oh God. That's it.
I really hate group messages.
When people slander like bungalow style homes, I think those are pretty dope, but not a lot of people think they are.
It annoys me when people talk to me in the mornings.
Not a morning guy?
Sure.
When people scuff their feet on the ground when they're walking.
Group dances. When people yell and cheer out of line at events and performances and such.
Like crowd members.
Yeah, pretty much.
Reboots of movies and comic book movies. Really, both. They're unoriginal and stupid.
When people brag about having a 4.0 but don't take any honors classes.
At practice, when we're in line for a drill and other people are like standing in line but they're like over on the side and you're like, okay, seriously, get in line because this is really bothering me. It needs to be straight.
I don't know. I like CJ.
Cotton balls. What? I don't like. Oh, I got one. When this little child says sunblock instead of sunscreen. Oh, biggest pet peeve when it comes to her. Oh my God.